suggestions were readers, and I talked about what they would read. But in the end, I didn't end up using it. I'm going to save it for next year. But since the day this video goes up is Halloween Day, I thought I would just keep it on for this video. I fully realize it looks kind of ridiculous, but I love all things ridiculous, so here we are. Anyway, welcome back. I am so excited for today's video, as I was saying, because today we are picking our November TBR. I love this, and we are going to use the prompts that my girlie Freya is giving us. Yay! I am so excited. I am so excited to see what prompts she decided to give me. I have so much fun picking books from prompts for a TBR. We all know by now that I don't always stick to the TBR because I'm a mood reader, but this is so fun. Let's dive right in. Hello everyone, I am Freya, and I am so excited to be here on Laura's channel today. I cannot wait for this collab because it is so fun. It's so fun. But I'm sure Laura has explained it all. But we are giving each other prompts for our November TBRs. I get enjoyed to give her a little bit of creative freedom with the prompts I picked, but I thought a lot about what prompts I wanted to give her, and I thought I'll make a little TBR jar for her. So I think we will dig right in and see what my first prompt for Laura will be. I am very excited. Oh, okay. This one was chosen by the fates. Ooh. Okay, so my first prompt for your November TBR is a book from an author you haven't read before. And I love this prompt because you can freely choose the genre, and maybe you'll find an author you're gonna love in the future. So have fun with that. I am very excited to see what you picked. Thank you for this prompt. I love it because there's several authors on my shelves that I haven't read yet. So the first book that came to mind is actually a debut novel, but then there's other ones as well, so I'm going to take a look at my shelves and see what we come up with. Okay, I picked two books from authors I haven't read yet. I'm very undecided because I kind of want to get to both. One of these is a book I've put in previous TBRs, so I feel like maybe we should prioritize that. Let me show them to you. The first book that came to mind is so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. But that is if it makes you happy. If it makes you happy by Julie Olivia. And I'm quite sure this is a debut novel for her. So obviously I haven't read anything by her, right? But I feel like it should still count. I'm not like discounting it just from the fact that it's a debut novel, right? But the thing is, I think I'm going to get to this book even without putting it into a TBR, right? So maybe I should prioritize the other one, which I really, really want to read, but I haven't managed yet, and I've already put it in one of the TBRs in the past, and I didn't get to it, right? So that is my reasoning right now. The second book I picked up Quicksilver by Cully Hart. This book is huge. It's bigger than my head, and I wish I had the hardback. But this is like one of those huge paperbacks, which I don't know why we are doing this. It kind of pisses me off. But yeah, I kind of wish I had the hardback. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? This book, I've been thinking about reading this book since probably like February of this year. And I haven't. It was on my August, I believe, TBR, which is when I started feeling like I had read enough romance for the summer, and I wanted a romantasy, or like just like a darker, moodier kind of book. So I was like, let me just put this in my TBR. I was also craving like 600 plus pages book at that moment, which is not the case right now. Also, the new book is coming out next year, I believe, soonish. So I'm really, really thinking Quicksilver, because I'm like, if it makes you happy, I'm going to read it anyway. You know what I mean? Whereas Quicksilver, it would be like the challenge of the month. Ceres Vane is good at keeping secrets. No one knows about the powers she possesses, or the fact that she has been stealing from the Undying Queen's reservoirs for as long as she can remember. But a secret is like a knot. Sooner or later, it is bound to come undone. When Ceres comes face to face with death himself, she inadvertently reopens a gateway between realms and is transported to Ibelia, a land of ice and snow. Oh. The Fae have always been the stuff of myth, of legend, of nightmares, but it turns out they're real, and Ceres has landed in the center of centuries-long conflict that might just get her killed. The first of her kind to enter Ibelia in over 1,000 years, Ceres mistakenly binds herself to Kingfisher, a handsome fair warrior with an agenda of his own. He will use her powers to protect his people, no matter what it costs him or her. is Kingfisher of the Edgeon Gate. His past is murky, his attitude stinks, and he's the only way Ceres is going to make it home. Upon reading that, I thought this was gonna be like a darker fantasy, but it sounds more like a winter book to me. Like if we're going to get transported into a land of ice and snow. Maybe it's not the right time for this. So I know what we're gonna pick. I know where we're gonna pick. I'm changing it up, okay? Yeah. Okay, I didn't initially pick this book up from my shelves because I know, just like if it makes you happy, I know I will get to it this November. But right now I'm thinking, can I just use this prompt as an excuse to officially put it on my TBR? You know, plus it's 2 books, it's a duology. So if I'm like, this first book I will read it for sure, so then if I put it on my TBR it will force me to also read the second one and just complete the duology and be done with it, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what goes on in my brain. It's kind of murky up there, okay? But stick with me because I think y'all are gonna be excited about this. The time has come. The time has come. The moment is now. And I am going to be reading One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I have waited the month of November to read this book because I know it's gonna get gloomier and gloomier. It's gonna get darker sooner, which it already is, and that's sad, but it's gonna be perfect weather for this book. Why? Because if you don't know, it is a gothic fantasy. So it has this darker vibe to it, and I feel like I really want something like that, you know, for November. So this book, it is a duology, the Shepherd King duology, and this is the first book where a girl who lives in a cursed village sets on an adventure to find a cure to this curse, and in order to kind of erase this curse she has to collect this deck of magical cards that are very hard to come by and very sought after. So that's basically all I know about the book. The whole magic system in this duology revolves around the cards, the magical deck of cards, and I find that so unique. And I feel like Rachel Gillig, from what I heard about her books, she creates such original, unique magic systems. So I need something like that, and I need like a good book. You know what I mean? I need a potential 5-star read on my TBR for November, because lately, yeah, it's been kind of a mess. But apart from this month, the month of October, it's been a good month. Honestly, you will see in the next video. But yeah, so actually scratch everything I said before. majority has read it, so it's, or because I'm very particular with covers. Like, I will only buy a physical copy of a book if I really like the cover, and if there are several editions, I will want to buy the specific one I like, you know what I mean? Otherwise, I don't care about having the physical book just as like trophy or something. Honestly, I don't need that. Also, I don't have the space for that. So, I'm very particular about that. But if you gift me a book and it's not exactly the cover I wanted, and there's different editions, or I didn't care about having it in physical copy, I will still cherish it like it's a gift. So, anyways, I had a hard time, but I did find 2 books that have been gifted that I haven't read yet. And I do have also like a whole series, The Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison, but I feel like I want to start that in December with Love Light Farm, really in order with the seasons, you know what I mean? Because I'm a mood reader, so. But I have been gifted these 2 books by different people, and one of these books is on my 10 before the end list, which if you haven't seen that video, I will link it in the description as well. So I took both these books out of my shelves to evaluate the situation clearly, but I think I already know what I'm going to pick, so let me show them to you first. The first one is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, which is a very well-loved author for me. I love Christina Lauren. I've read many of their books, and I enjoy them so much. They are a fun time. They are fun, but at the same time, there's depth to these romance books. So this is one of those cases of like, I don't enjoy this cover in particular, but my boyfriend gifted this to me quite a while ago, actually, and I haven't gotten to it yet. But to be honest, I'm not in a big romance mood, so that was one of the picks, but it's not going on the TBR, I think. Yeah. What is going to be on the TBR is my book from the 10 before the end list. And I think Freya is gonna be really happy about this one too. Just like One Dark Window, I know it's one of her favorite books. So, I'm sorry, I have to laugh because I'm like, this book, it's on my 10 before the end. It was a goal of mine for 2025 to start the ACOTAR series. The fact that I haven't read it yet is ridiculous, right? Because I love fantasy romance. It's my favorite genre ever. And I was sitting here talking about all these books, and I haven't read like the classic of the genre, right? So I've managed to avoid any kind of spoiler about this series, so I don't really know anything about this series, right? Which feels kind of ridiculous, because like any reader will know about these books, right? I think the moment has come. I also talked about this book on my video about books I'm scared to read because I'm intimidated by this, right? This book has been gifted to me by my parents. They actually got me the whole book set, so I have all 5 books currently. And I know, like, the 6th one is in the making or is coming out. We don't know when, apparently, but so that gives me even more of an incentive. I feel like this first book is not too hard to get into. Probably it's less than 400 pages. I'm sorry, what? 416 pages. Okay, so that's fine. It's not a huge book. These books get chunkier and chunkier the more you go on with the series, that's for sure. But as a first book, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. Okay, let me read you the blurb, because once again I don't really know. I'm discovering what this book is about. Freya, I don't really know how to pronounce her name, so Freya is a huntress. The skin of a wolf would bring enough gold to feed her sisters for a month, but the life of a magical creature comes at a steep price, and Freya has just killed the wrong wolf. Taken prisoner by the High Fae Lord, Freya learns that her masked captor is hiding even more than his piercing gaze suggests. But as Freya's feeling for Tamlin begin to burn through every warning she's heard about his kind, a shadow is falling across the land, and Freya cannot fight it. She will lose everything. Please, do not spoil these books for me in the comments. Please do not tell me anything about any of these characters. For the love of God. I know as reader girlies, we have each other's back. So let me go into this blind. Thank you. So anyways, officially, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas is on my November TBR. Okay, we are back for prompt number 3. And I'm so excited to see what you picked, honestly. But here is our third prompt for your TBR, and that is a book under 200 pages. This is going to be a bit of a challenge because under 200 pages is technically a novella, but this is great because it allows you to have a fun little quick read. I hope you do have a novella, but I'm very intrigued to see what you choose for this one. Nice. Very, very nice. You're being very nice with your prompts here, Freya, and I appreciate it. I have not really returned the favor though, so forgive me for that. But okay, a short book with some room to possibly read more books. I love that. Okay, so I looked through my shelves and I do have one book that is under 200 pages. But to be honest, I kind of want to give myself an audiobook. So we might look up some of the novellas I've saved on my Audible to see if that's better. Also because the book I have on my shelves feels like a summer book. So, you know, that doesn't really fit the vibe, but that is Room on the Sea by Andre is the author of Call Me By Your Name. Yeah, it's the author of Call Me By Your Name. I read another one of his novellas this year, and it was really, really good. I love his writing style. But yeah, this feels like these novellas feel very summery. All his books I feel like are very summery. How gorgeous is this book though? I love this. I love the colors. On the back here it says, have you ever had the sense that maybe all lives are nothing more than the chronicle of countless stinging might have beens that continue to haunt us? So his books are always quite philosophical. But yeah, it's set in the summer. And yeah, I don't think this is a right book for now, but it is. Let me check. I think it's 150 something pages. 158 pages. Yeah, so that could have fit the prompt, but it's the only book I have on my shelves that is less than 200 pages, and it's not for right now. So let's open up my Audible app. I know I have some novellas saved here, and I'm thinking specifically about Ali Hazelwood. I know she has a collection of novellas I haven't read yet. That would be amazing. Ali Hazelwood is one of my favorite romance authors, so that would be fun. Also, it gives us a romance because so far we've only picked fantasy. Okay, so there's this collection from Ali Hazelwood with Below Zero, Stuck With You, Under One Roof. These 3 novellas here. I think Below Zero is very, wintry. Stuck With You, it's a feminist novella, and the other one is Under One Roof. It's 3 hours 38 minutes, also under 200 pages, and it's also another feminist novella. I think this is a forced proximity romance. They have to live together, so that's really tempting. And apparently the other 2 novellas I mentioned, Stuck With You and Below Zero, are interconnected. They are all interconnected novellas, so it follows her other 2 best friends. That's really fun. I think it's a winner. I'm going to be reading Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood. I'm really excited about this actually. I love an Ali Hazelwood book. I love her. But let's go on and pick our last and fourth book. So now we have our last prompt for today. And I'm curious to see which one's going to be last. Okay, the last one. Oh, okay. The last one is a book you've not heard anyone else talked about. So basically, a book you got and you haven't heard anyone recommend it or talk about it. So I'm very, very curious to see one of those. I think they're technically more like unhyped books. But I'm super curious because I love a good undiscovered book, and I'm very, very intrigued. What are you gonna pick? Hell yes! I think Freya has done such a better job than I did with these prompts. Honestly, French one, and it's a fantasy romance book. So since we've already got these two, I thought, let's change up the genre a bit, right? There is this one book that was like the best of the three that I'm most interested in right now, but I'm like, is this a summer book? I don't really know, but it might be a good change anyway, right? Because maybe after reading these darker romances, I would want kind of a change. So I feel like, yeah, this could be a good idea to have on my TBR. Plus, as we were saying, we're not even sure I'm going to stick to the TBR, but yeah. So the book in question. This is Lies and Weddings. Lies and Weddings by Kevin Kwan. I love this cover. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it does something to my brain that the martini glass coincides perfectly with the horizon, and that this goes on to the back of the book. It just does something to my brain, but yeah, even just by the cover, I'm like, this could be a summer book, you know what I mean? So we'll see. But I picked this up in August, I think. Yeah, probably. I was just at the bookstore. I was browsing for books that I haven't heard anything about, and this cover just piqued my interest, and when I read the back I was like, okay, sold, and I brought it home. I haven't heard anything about this, but what I don't know about it is that there's this girl who is about to enter kind of an arranged marriage, a marriage of convenience. There's a lot of traveling for some reason involved. That feels very summery to me. At the same time, I feel like I was about to say that I'm not traveling in the next months, but that's a lie. That is a straight up lie. So, well, I haven't traveled in the month of October. Does that count? Well, I've been to one weekend away, but it was just on the countryside here in the Parisian region, so I'm not counting that as traveling. So I'm getting that need again, and maybe this book will scratch that need on my brain, to just quit everything and go travel again. But yeah, let's just read the blurb of this book, shall we? So that's Lies and Weddings. Out of place at a luxurious wedding in Hawaii, Eden Young finds herself face to face with her wealthy childhood best friend, Rufus. The future Earl of Shaftesbury is gorgeous, artistic, and unbeknownst to Eden, desperately in love with her. Also, it's him, he is in love with her. But his mother, the chilly matriarch Arabella, has other plans. The family is drowning in debt, and Rufus needs to find a match with serious money to keep them afloat. Arabella is prepared to destroy anyone who gets in her way, including Eden. Transporting its readers from the white sand beaches of Hawaii to the colorful Medinas of Marrakesh to the glitzy fancy bachelor pads of Beverly Hills and opulent English countryside manors, Lies and Weddings is a hilarious, juicy and page-turning story about love and money and the lines we tell to keep them. So this is kind of a general fiction book, but you know, there's this underlining romance plot. So actually it was flipped. It's the main character's mom, who is an aristocrat and wants to arrange marriage him, right? But he's in love with his childhood best friend, which is so cute. It's so cute as a trope. So I'm putting this on my TBR as well for a book I haven't heard anyone talk about. That is Lies and Weddings by Kevin Kwan. Also, Freya and I have agreed to buddy read Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie, I believe. So there's that. That is a dark academia fantasy set in an academy in purgatory, so on the edge of afterlife, right? So that sign me up. I think it's a young adult fantasy book, which is great. And apart from that, we also agreed to give each other a wild card, which means that she is going to give me a book to read that she chose herself. So let's see what she has in store for us. I'm kind of scared, but I trust her. Now let's get to my wild card. We said we were gonna pick one wild card for each other, but we've agreed to read Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie together in November. So I think that kind of counts as my wild card. So I want it to be a little bit nicer and give you a bit of leeway with my wild card. So I thought I'll give you five of my personal favorite authors, and you can pick any book from them, but it has to be one of those five. But I kind of try to be a little bit mindful of genre distribution, so you can kind of pick your genre. So for my favorite romance authors, we have Ellie Hazelwood, amazing backlog of super cute, spicy STEM romances. Or Elsie Silver, again, small town, spicy romances, chef's kiss. Then we have Freya McFadden, who's a favourite thriller author of mine. So if you've picked a lot of fantasy and romance, I thought that'd be a nice mix-up. And then for fantasy, I really couldn't decide. Those would have been the two books I would have forced on you if I would have tried to be mean. But I'm kind of mean because these authors have both kind of only, I mean that's not true, but kind of only there's one big book from them. So we have Sasha Payton Smith, who's the trust her with this. I haven't been that nice. You should go watch her November TBR video after to see the prompts I chose for her and the wildcard I gave her. But yeah, I took on a completely different approach for the wildcard. So anyways, honestly, we have an Ali Hazelwood book in this TBR, so that's amazing. I would have picked an Ali Hazelwood book otherwise. Nancy Silver, love her, but I feel like it's more like summery to me. So next we have Frida McFadden, which I would really love to get into. I've only ever read Death Row by her. It's a novella. I've listened that. No, I read that on my Kindle. That was fun. It has an open ending, which I really love. I feel like I'm not in the mood for thrillers. Like, I haven't read a single thriller this year. I might have grown out of them. Like, I might not be into thrillers anymore. I don't know, I need to find one that brings my love for thrillers back. But I'm not in the mood for that. I would have chosen The Crimson Moth / Heartless Hunter. But I feel like, do I really want to start a new duology right now? When I have another book that she mentioned, and Freya even said that it would have been the book she picked if she was trying to force a book on me with a wildcard. So I think I'm going with that, actually. You know why? Because it's on my 10 before the end list as well. And that book is The Rose Bargain by Sasha Peyton Smith. I feel like I've talked about this book several times. So, you know, that makes sense to put this on my TBR also. I'm in this like huge fantasy romance mood, and you will understand why in my next video where I talk about the books I read in October, right? And my October reading wrap up. I've been chasing this feeling that romanticy gives you. I'm going to go ahead and pick The Rose Bargain by Sasha Peyton Smith as the wildcard. And thank you, Freya, because this is a gift to me. You're not forcing anything on me. The Rose Bargain. Oh, I just realized the eye here is like a sword. That is so cute. So, what I know about this book is that it's basically the selection, the book series meets Bridgerton. And I don't need to know anything else, to be honest. I love both of those. Balls, trials, love triangle. All things I love. So, the Regency era, but make it fake. All things I love. This book is so stiff. I don't think I've ever had a book that is so stiff. Like, this is gonna need some gentle breaking. So yeah, The Rose Bargain on our TBR as well. And they are the books on our November TBR list. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood, Lies and Weddings by Kevin Kwan, The Rose Bargain by Sasha Peyton Smith, Immortal Consequences by Ivy Mary. that's my little recap of the TBR, the lineup for November. It's gonna be an exciting month, honestly. I cannot wait. Okay, so that was our TBR for November. I hope you enjoyed this video, this little collab we have going on, and make sure to go on to Freya's channel. I will link her video down below to see the prompts that I picked out for her and my wild card and all of that. So make sure to go check it out. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know I love a good TBR video, so if you did enjoy it, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe if you're not already. Join our Bookish family. I would love to have you here. I hope you will have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And hopefully I will see you in the next